Since we haven't seen you since October,
Yes.
what are improvements have you seen
Yep.
in what areas, and maybe some players that have really stepped up in that 3 months you've seen?
Yeah, I think honestly, we are really trying to figure things out. If I'm being honest with you, we have just a young team. We have everybody except for probably KP playing in a new spot than they did last year. So I think for us, it was really trying to get the team to mesh together. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. We just lost, you lost your center fielder and Allie Enright, Coco, Emily Kennedy, and that's kind of like the center of your field. And so KK Dement obviously has moved over to shortstop, which is her natural position. We have somebody new. We had Maddie Sani predominantly play behind the dish, but you still have Dee Dee Baldwin and Grayson Coleman. Center field, we'll have somebody new there. So it was just trying to put all those pieces together. I would say that the teams really meshed well, but we were a little out of rhythm, if I'm being honest with you, in the fall. If you're watching of our fall games, we were still trying to kind of figure things out. But that's also exciting. There's a lot of upside on this team, a lot of athleticism. We run well. They're really connected, and I would just say really they enjoy being around each other. So I think this year it might take us a little while to get into our rhythm, but I think by the end of the year we're going to be into a good rhythm. Yeah.
And before I always forget about health, is everybody 100% on your team?
Yeah,
doing
I'm trying to
everything?
think. Yep, so far so good.
Okay, always
Yeah,
ask about that.
I know. Just, but yeah, that'll be key. Obviously, is staying healthy.
What does it look like, or what's kind of the vibes in the circle, and especially having to kind of replace Emily as she moves on?
Yeah. Bring Emily back? No. Okay. It was exciting, to be honest with you. I mean, Sydney Lessentine last year, I put her in some tough spots, especially at the end of the year. And I've been challenging her, and I've been having some fun talks. I'm sure you guys will ask her about it when we start here pretty soon. But she's really just stepped up, and somebody that we're looking heavily into. She's got dynamic stuff, she has the ability to go up, she has the ability to go down, change speeds. So we're excited. We're excited about, her taking that next step in her sophomore year, leading this program. We have Sydney Peters, which was pivotal. When we lost her last year, I think we felt it pretty tremendously. So having her back and healthy, and again, her ball is just very, very dynamic and has played at a high level. So I think that's going to be key for us. And then adding Taylor Pennell, a kid that came from Missouri and has really fit in well. She's got the mental fortitude of a champion and just somebody who's a dog and loves to be on the mound. She wants the ball at all points of the game. So I think she's brought a lot of leadership to our bullpen. So between those three, it's been really, really good. And obviously we still have Kate Munnerlin, who also I felt like as a freshman last year did a tremendous job, and she'll probably still come in some situations, start for us, but has continued to grow her, I would say, pitching skills. And so that's been good. So she's getting better. And Grace Sparks had a really good fall, and looking for her to be able to come in and, suck up some innings and get some ground ball outs for us. And then we have Taylor Brown. So I think, for us, we're 6 people deep. So that's always good. I think we could all agree that we wish we had a little bit more arms at the end of the year last year, or arms with experience. And part of that is on me. I relied on Emily so much. So this year, I think we'll be a little bit balanced, and I'm looking forward to it. I think this fall, in any of our fall games, if you guys were able to watch, our arms did well. So we just gotta, I don't like to talk about them too much. We just gotta go out and do it. But we have some options and some dynamic options, so.
As far as a face that 12th Man hasn't seen, AK.
I know,
can
finally.
you just kind of talk about her story, her journey on campus, having to sit all through last year and the fall, and then being able to see her now?
Yeah, so she obviously transferred to us from Florida last January, and we knew that she had to do a year of residency, but I guess I didn't compute to me that it also meant this fall. So the poor thing had to sit through last season and this fall. And if you know AK, she's super smart, super high energy. So she's always itching to get on the field. And so we tried to, obviously appeal it, and it didn't go through, to try to let her play this fall. So I'm excited to get her back. I mean, that's a kid that hit over 300 in the SEC. She's caught. She's played third base. We have her in the outfield right now, so very versatile. Just a team player. Like the team enjoys having her around. She works. I have to send her home. I'm like, AK, like time for you to go home. But just a super duper kid and somebody that I think the 12th man's going to be excited to watch her compete. So she'll be in the top of our lineup and do some damage. So I'm just happy. My heart is happy to see her be able to compete. Yeah.
So I was gonna ask you about, you touched on it about your pitching staff, since that you are the guru of pitching.
Well,
How possibly do you change things? Because like when you said, when you got to the end and you're playing a team that you probably thought you should be.
Yep.
And pitching was one of your problems in that series. And they say coaches like players learn. So even though here we are in January, have you changed anything, or is that gonna be as the season goes by?
yeah, I think for me, it's that balance of chasing wins, but also developing pitchers early in the season. So there might be some instances where I would typically make a change, and I'm going to let us grow through that a little bit. We're going to still be super young on the mound. Lessentine's a sophomore, Kate Munnellin's a sophomore. Obviously, Pinnell's a senior, and so is Grace. But Taylor Brown's a redshirt freshman, and Peters on paper is a junior, but most likely, like really innings-wise, is a sophomore. And so I think for us, we're going to have to live through some of that and get them through some of those pieces in order for us to be really good at the end. I think I probably could have developed Lessentine and Kate Munnelin a little bit earlier on in the year, and that might have helped us at the end.
Do you feel like, Trisha, you're at a place in your program now that you've been here a while? I see some of the early polls come out like 14th or 15th. So there's not much difference really between 1 and 14 and 15. So my point being is, do you feel like you're at a great place where you just reload? Like, oh man, you said last year, College World Series is always your goal, but it's maybe a little bit more in reach every year.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm way more like it's feeling like my program now. We're entering into year 4, so I know the kids. I know them, pretty well, and I know who we're bringing in. Our 26 class, I'm really, really excited about. Our 27 class that are obviously just verbal commits at this point in time, I'm really excited about. So I can see the vision. I can see what we are building here and how we're going to sustain greatness, because as you guys know me, I don't want to just be good for 1 year. I want to be good every single year. So yeah, I think this year we're going to be reloading, but I also feel like we're going to compete. And I love the underdog mentality of like, okay, we're 14, that's fine. Like, we're just going to put our heads down and work. And so I think we're in a good spot. I think we're going to surprise some people, and I think we're going to have some bumps this year, but I do think we have the pieces to be really competitive.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Say Holly.
Yeah, I have some questions actually.
Yeah.
How has Maya Perez grown since last year as a player?
Yeah, Maya's just fun. I mean, Maya is a special. She's a talent, in a program. She, from her freshman year to her sophomore year, I felt just became more comfortable in her skin and her approach. And now, like, she has had to learn even this fall, like, everybody is focused on Maya Perez, right? So like when we face teams, like she's the one, she can't beat us, right? So learning how to be that player, what do her at-bats look like, not trying to do too much. And so I think that's what she really worked on this fall. Her approach, her mindset is so right on. I wish I could share some of her text messages to Coach Harger of just, she'll watch film after a game and just talk about, hey, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm feeling. She's just a student, she's a professional. And so I think even going through the MLB home run derby that she went through this fall, like talking to those guys, and she's just continuing to get better and better and just smarter. And so I think you just see her maturing, and just I'm very happy that she's here. I'm happy that I don't have to face her. Yes.
And then what would you like to see from her this year to take another step forward?
Yeah, I think kind of what I just talked about is being able to understand how to have at-bats in crucial situations in which they're probably going to be smart about her. So she needs to be smart. And I think, attacking early in counts when she gets her pitch, not missing it. And then I think leadership wise, I think she's taken on a little bit bigger role. She's, like I said, just more comfortable in our program on year 3 and understands what our standard is and what that looks like. And so for her to be a little bit more vocal, and I think the team would tell you that she is doing that. So she's just a happy kid that you see her like when she runs around her home run trot, like she's super happy, smiling ear to ear, bouncing. And I just want Maya to be that. Yeah.
As for KK, you kind of talk about maturation and things like that, and having Coco aside her last year.
Yep.
How much do you think that helped, just with her knowing kind of exactly what to do and spots to be in and watching her, but also just being in the dugout and the kind of leader she was?
Yeah, I think, KK is just a unique personality. She's actually really quiet. And so that's where our focus has been this year. So she may or may not have weekly meetings with Coach Ford, just to like check in and to push her, she is somebody that really brings her team together and really people gravitate to her. And so, but she's a quiet person. And so for her to understand like how to get out of her comfort and to help lead and what that looks like. And I think KK does a really good job of like staying pretty steady. And, that's something that's a great quality for an athlete, especially in our sport where failure is so, such a big part of it, that she communicates how she deals with the ebbs and flows of this game. So that's what we're really looking at. KK is obviously she had somebody to lean in on, but also for her to take her style and kind of how she does things, because I think it's great. It's unique. And I want them to be who they are. So it was important for Coco to be who Coco was, but I don't want KK to be Coco because that's not, you know what I mean? Like her strength. So for me, it's just getting KK comfortable and herself comfortable with her teammates. KK has unmatched work ethic. And so that's something as her teammates see and breathe. And, we challenge her to bring people in, her and AK, I don't know if you'll find two that work like it's crazy. Yeah. So you want that though. You want that, especially on your field. So KK is like, I just smile when I think about her, to be honest. Yeah.
What about SEC? It's
Yep.
always such a tough conference in all sports.
Yep.
But I would say in softball, you could argue that it's maybe the number one when you consider who's won national championships recently and how many teams go to the College World Series. My question is, now that we're in the world of revenue sharing and NIL, is Texas A&M in a competitive level field with Oklahoma, with Texas, with LSU? Do you feel you're in an equal?
Yeah, I think we have the opportunities here to do what we need to do to be successful. I've had a lot of talks. Trev's probably tired of hearing me. But I will say, I just commend him that I can go into his office and talk and just be real with him and not have to worry about his feelings getting hurt or him, just having very honest conversations of, you guys know this, I'm super passionate about softball and it's very important to me. And so my whole thing to him is the reason why I came here is because of the resources and the support that I know that we can do here. And I know we can be really good consistently in softball. And so he's on board with me. And so he's on board for us to have the resources, to be competitive. And so I think for us, it's now, okay, then let's get those pieces to work. And I think you really see that in our 26 and 27 class. That's where you guys are going to probably see it a lot, and it was just kind of a timing factor of what that looked like. This 26 class, we recruited kind of in the old NIL era, if that makes sense. And so, I think that's the reason why our 26 and 27 class looks the way it is. So I'm excited. I told him I want to be here. I love Aggie Land. I feel like it aligns with me and aligns with, me raising my kids here, my family here. And, I want to represent the 12th man at the highest level. I know that that's my that's my job, is to win softball games, but also to do it the right way. And so, yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot that we're not handcuffed in doing things that we can't be competitive.
So when you go out to recruit, you can recruit against anybody and you have basically the same thing to offer.
Yeah, I think everybody's varied, but I think we're competitive. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think there's some things that we do differently than other universities that hopefully if you're a student athlete that you want to get into this, that development piece is big. And so my ask is that we're just always competitive with the top. And right now we are competitive with the top. Yeah.